Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has given reasons why the country under Russia attacks is currently launching offensive actions deep inside Russia territories, saying, almost every single day, Russia fired hundreds of drones and missiles into Ukrainian cities, especially civilian or residential areas, killing civilians, women and children, specifically stating that, a day before Ukraine military launched the drone strikes that destroyed over 40 bomber plane carriers inside Russia military airfields on Sunday, Russia attacked Ukraine overnight with 480 drones and missiles. Zelenskyy stated this while responding to questions from journalists who engaged him via online video call. Ukraine said on Tuesday that it had hit the bridge connecting Russia and the occupied Crimean Peninsula with explosives planted underwater, in its third attack on the vital supply line for Moscow's forces since the full-scale war began in 2022, according to CNN. According to CNN, Ukraine's security service, the SBU, said on Telegram that its agents had mined the piers of the road and rail Crimean Bridge, also called the Kerch Bridge, and detonated the first explosive at 4:44 a.m. Tuesday. The whole operation took several months, it added. The agency said it had used 1,100 kilograms of explosives which severely damaged the underwater pillars supporting the bridge. Traffic on the bridge was suspended early Tuesday morning, then again mid-afternoon, before resuming shortly before 6 p.m. local time. Although the scale of the damage was not immediately clear, Tuesday's attack is the latest example of the SBU's attempts to blindside Moscow and demonstrate that there are costs to continuing its war. President Zelenskyy on Monday and Tuesday stated that, right now in Sumy region, doctors are providing all necessary assistance to those wounded by a Russian strike. The Russians struck right on the street, hitting ordinary residential buildings. Sleazebags. There have been virtually no days without killings during this whole time, while the United States, Europe, and other global actors have been urging Russia to agree to a ceasefire and negotiations to end the war. But Russia remains fully committed to war, and they prove it with both their strikes and their statements. All of this is the argument for new, tougher sanctions against Russia. I'm grateful to all Americans and Europeans who support this approach of pressuring Russia into peace. It's extremely important. Russia must feel what war truly means. When asked by journalists whether yesterday's operation might enrage the Russians, I responded that just a day earlier, Russia had launched a massive overnight attack on Ukraine, over 480 drones and missiles. They struck civilian infrastructure, residential buildings. There were casualties, people killed and injured. This happens every single day. Sometimes there's a short pause, and to be honest, we now call it a pause, if there's just no one killed that night. But even then, drones still fly, and people still get wounded. These so-called pauses just mean fewer attacks than usual, but we're still talking about dozens of drones and cruise missiles. So Nigeria Anti-Corruption Police, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC has arrested a 63-year-old man, Ernesto Chukwudumchukwukama, who allegedly presented himself as a journalist working with the EFCC to defraud an unsuspecting victim a sum of 2 million naira with the pretense to help discontinue the investigation of $4.5 billion fraud in the Nigeria Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF. Details of this report and other news is made available by the Public Relations Department of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC reads verbatim below. EFCC arrests fake journalist for claiming to stop investigation of alleged $4.5 billion PTF fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arrested a fake journalist, Ernesto Chukwudumchukwukama, for alleged extortion, impersonation and obtaining 2 million naira, under false pretense to influence the investigation of the sum of $4.5 billion, $4.5 billion United States dollars, alleged Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF fraud. Chukwukama, 63, was arrested for allegedly threatening the life of a petitioner and receiving financial inducement from him to stop the investigation of $4.5 billion alleged Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF fraud. The suspect allegedly presented himself to the petitioner as a journalist attached to the EFCC. He also allegedly informed the petitioner that other journalists who are members of a correspondence chapel attached to the commission had a report of how he stole the sum of $4,500,000,000 in the process of winding up the activities of the Petroleum Trust Fund. Investigation revealed that the suspect had already received the sum of 2 million naira from the petitioner and was arrested while attempting to withdraw the funds. He will be charged to court upon conclusion of investigation. Lagos court jails 8 Filipinos for cyber-terrorism, internet fraud. Justice Alexander Owoi of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, on Tuesday, May 27, 2025, convicted and sentenced 8 Filipinos to 1 year imprisonment each for cyber-terrorism and internet fraud. The convicts are Bevelin Casino, Mayarable, Mary Grace de la Cruz, Jamal Pali, Trisha Castro, Rai Kamara, Cherry de Leon and Danica Jarapan. They were arraigned on Tuesday by the Lagos Zonal Directorate 1 of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on separate charges of possession of fraudulent documents. One of the counts reads, that Bevelin Casino sometime in December 2024, in Lagos, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, willfully caused to be accessed computer systems organized to seriously destabilize and destroy the fundamental economic and social structure of Nigeria when you procured, employed Nigerian youths for identity theft and to hold themselves out as persons of foreign nationality, with the intent to gain a financial advantage for yourselves, and you thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 18 of the Cybercrimes Benue State Governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Normamalia has confirmed the killing of 23 persons by herdsmen who invaded the Naka community and other communities in Apa and GWA West local government areas on Sunday. The governor, in a statement he issued on his personal X social media profile, said, the attacks on the locals were unprovoked. On Tuesday, large numbers of women were seen on protest march in Apa local government area over the weekend herdsman killings, which the women said have continued unabated due to government negligent attitude of governance. The women, dressed in black and carrying placards, marched through major roads, demanding urgent intervention from the state and federal governments. The women gathered at the major road in Ubokpo, the local government area headquarters, expressing deep anguish over the escalating violence that has left many widowed and children orphaned. It was gathered that communities like Ajaha Ikobi, Edikwu Ankpali, and Odigbo have suffered multiple deadly attacks in recent times. Protesting with one of the placard inscriptions, Voice of the Hopeless Women, the women presented a letter at the local government headquarters detailing their pain over what they described as relentless assaults on their families, homes, and farmlands. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Normamalia in a statement stated that, it is with a heavy heart that I confirm the loss of 23 innocent lives, 12 in Apa and 11 in GWA West local government areas, due to brutal and unprovoked attacks. These killings are unacceptable, and as your governor, I will not sit idle while our communities are turned into killing fields. Following an emergency Security Council meeting this morning at Government House, I have ordered joint security forces to immediately move into the affected areas and beyond. Their mission is clear: stop the violence, sweep the communities, and restore peace. This government stands firmly with every grieving family and displaced resident. We are mobilizing every available resource to protect lives and bring those responsible for these heinous acts to justice. More updates will follow as our security teams are on the ground. I urge all citizens to remain vigilant and cooperate with security operatives as they carry out the duty. Benue State Police Command of the Nigeria Police Force, in a statement on Monday, said that the Commissioner of Police in the state has redeployed and relocated some of its top officers to the affected communities with a mandate to restore peace and order and as well arrest perpetrators of the crime. The Benue State Police Command, under the leadership of CP Emeneria Faini, has deployed resources to flashpoints in the state including Apa and GW West local government areas where 10 and 12 persons lost their lives respectively and 5 others were hospitalized. In the last 1 month, personnel posted to these areas have been contending with these attackers and have suppressed them in most areas. Unfortunately, these drowning bandits searched for vulnerable persons and attacked them, killing some persons on the 1st of June 2025. However, the CP assures affected communities of his resolve to fight these attackers till they submit to the rule of law. He has deployed additional police officers to beef up security.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.